Okay, now we're going to take a look at Kendra's butterfly from the above water view. Okay, Kendra, as you're kind of starting here, you can kind of see how you're getting your elbows up and then kind of flinging your hands around in terms of your butterfly. And what happens is your hands get really high. So you got your arm above the water here, and then your hand is bending up this direction on both sides. So on the other side, you can see the arm, and then you can see the hand bent back behind you. But again, this is a position which, one, slows down the recovery over the top of the water a little bit, and it also puts your shoulders in a position of creating more pressure across the shoulders. And what I'd like to see is you be a little bit lower with those hands and arms as you're coming around on your butterfly. And we'll get a better view as you come up, but you can see how high the hands are right here and how you're flinging those hands over the top. And we want to be right over the surface of the water. So if I'm drawing where your arm is on this side, you can just see how high that is and how it's throwing that direction. I would rather it be just about 1 inch to 2 inches above the surface of the water in that area there. And on this other arm, same thing. Just barely above the water line with that thumb, and not trying to kind of roundhouse the arms over the top of the water, just sliding them over the top of the water, which is more natural on the shoulders instead of that high arm position that you have going on with the bent wrist. And then as you come over, you can just see it as you're going to enter. Your elbows are entering the water, and then you can see that your hands are still above the surface of the water as you're doing this. So you're in this position here, and the hands are not in the water. I'd rather see the hands in the water and then the arm just on top of the surface of the water as you're starting that catch, instead of in this position. That's just a lot of pressure on the shoulders as you're reaching in to the water in front of the stroke. Now hips are really high on the kick, which I really like. So the body position is really nice. Head position, body position, could get a little more knee bend. But again, you can just see on each one of these strokes just how high your arms are being swung over the top of the water. Again, good suit. Here, lifting up a little high for the breath. So I would like to see your chin on the surface of the water down here a little bit more out in front. You're lifting that direction instead of lifting up with the head and chin. So you're kind of lifting your head out of the water for the breath, and I'd rather see you lift it forward. That could cut down a little bit on that high arm recovery as well. But we want to just come out with those palms and then be really low to the surface of the water. And as we can notice here, you can just see that position very distinctly, how much pressure that's putting on the elbows and the shoulders and the back as you're trying to throw your arms in front. And I would rather see them just be right here. So as they're coming over, they're more out in front, just over the surface of the water, and not so high above your shoulders. Anytime you reach above your shoulders like that, you're going to have more pressure on the shoulders as you're trying to swim the stroke. Again, we can see the kick here. Legs are very straight as you go into this driving point, which is fine. But if we watch into the kick, I think you still maintain a pretty straight knee line into the kick. So I'd like to see a little more dolphin out of a more bent knee position. So on the underwater, we'll be looking for that. And then you come into the wall. You know, that's the big thing, just the arm position. Head position, hips, and your stroke all look good. As you come into the wall here for your turn, I would like to see that outside arm, the elbow more towards the body. Okay, you can see it over here, out away from the body. I'd like to see it come in much tighter to the ribs as it comes through, and create that line as you're coming underneath the body, to be straight underneath the body. It's kind of to the side as you're kind of rotating to the side to do the turn. So then you come through and you can just see you're just turning to the side a little early. Bring those knees underneath the body and not so much to the side, and that, because that's going to create more drag as you're pulling them. You want to pull them in underneath the body straight up, and then turn them sideways when you're putting your feet on the wall. Fairly tight turn, good streamline coming off, pretty good dolphin kicks into your first stroke coming out. Here it looks pretty good. We just want to turn those palms down. You can just see how you're winging the hands upward And we just want to keep those hands really low to the surface of the water and let the hands turn over naturally instead of flipping them up and over the top. Okay, but like I said, that's the big thing, is we got to somehow get your arms to come around a little bit lower to the surface of the water and in a more natural way.